My name is Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO. I would like to take this opportunity with high respect to express my concern on the historical move that happened today in Juba, which is the National Election Commission leadership today declare the country day for polling on the election is scheduled as 22nd December 2026 as required by the law that the leadership of the National Election Commission have to declare the country first ever election polling day 6 months before. And the 6 months start counting from 22nd June 2026, which is today. So today the country is being declared to be ready to go for polling station on 22nd December 2026. And as required by the law, today is supposed to be a day for the National Election Commission to declare the day of the elections as required by the law. They fulfill it, but also we expect that the National Election Commission today could have made a statement on the status of the voter registration, because also today we're supposed to have the final list of the voters that were registered for the election as will be held on 22nd December 2026. But it seems the voter registration final list is not ready, and this raises a serious concern on the status of the registration of the voters. As the country is heading towards election on 22nd December 2026, as officially declared today by the leadership of the National Election Commission, and this is with a reference to the decision made dated 18 September 2024, which is a resolution number 7, subsection C, where the party signatory to our access have committed themselves to the people of South Sudan that there will be no more further extension of the transitional period and no postponement of the elections, and the election will be held on 22nd December 2026. But as a civil society activist, engage in pre-election domestic observation, there are serious challenges in the face of the country preparation for election toward December 2026. Among the key challenges is really legal clarity on some of these decisions that are associated in creating a minimum condition for the country to hold election as scheduled for December 2026. Without this legal clarity is going to be problematic, and we are aware that we will be applying the constituencies of 2010 to run the election, while the law we have on force, or the law at hand for the election, is the Election Act amended 2023, which is giving the size of the parliament to 332 seats, while the constituency of 2010 is having a parliament at a size of 204. So legal clarity is required, and therefore the lawmakers of the country is really encouraged to look into these legal gaps or legal challenges that are really constraining the strength of the National Election Commission in creating a minimum condition for the conduct of the election as legal requirements is needed. Another challenge is that also this election is within the landscape of the implementation of the 2018 peace agreement, and we are aware that the 2018 peace agreement is facing huge challenges. Without really committing to the genuine implementation of provision 2018 peace agreement, other challenges may face the conduct of the election as scheduled for December 2026. Besides the ongoing insecurity in the country, economical constraint, and the lack of adequate and timely funding of the electoral process, all these are challenges that are affecting the electoral process. And recently we have seen shrinking civic space in the country with the case of Willie Angok Ngor. When he expressed himself, he has to face a challenge from state authority, and the civic space is shrinking. Therefore, I would like to appeal to the leadership of the country. The best pathway for creating a conducive environment for the conduct of the election is scheduled for December 2026. It will be the parties that were rightful signatory to our access should hold an urgent, inclusive political dialogue in line or in accordance with the recent declaration of AU C5 resolutions, together with also the decision made by the recent AU Peace and Security Council assessment to the country without having an inclusive political dialogue for reaching election consensus among the political actors is going to be a challenge in creating a good enough condition for the elections. We have seen also a declaration of inter-party dialogue. We hope that the inter-party dialogue is in accordance with the provision of the R-Access and also embracing the R-Access, and also in accordance with the declaration of AUC5 resolutions and also the AU Peace and Security Council report after their field assessment recently to the country. The country have huge challenges for creating a minimum condition for the conduct of the election for December 2026. We will be watching. Of course, we did a countdown for the day of today. At least our countdown have been made, but we still see serious chances of violation of the electoral law if the political leadership never avail political commitment and will for timely action and timely release of funding to the Electoral Commission and recommitment to the provision of the R-Access in order to consolidate peace and stability for paving a credible, peaceful, and non-violent election is scheduled for December 2026. Thank you very much.